Welcome to my cooking show, Chopping with Father. Hope everyone's having a great day. Where are you from in the chat? If you don't mind telling me, where are you from? Are you ready for today? Today is what I'm going to call it's almost like date night food. This whole week we've been challenged to cook with stuffed as the ingredients, as a theme. So my idea is I'm going to cook a meal, show you guys how to cook a meal that is considered stuffed. This whole week, all the content creators have been doing some amazing meals, and today we're gonna start. So I'm gonna start off with some cauliflower. Who in here likes cauliflower? If you like cauliflower, can you let me know? Let me know in the chat if you like cauliflower. I would appreciate it knowing that. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start off. What's going on, Miguel? How are we doing? You doing good, sir? Taking off the stems of the cauliflower. If you're a fan of cauliflower, let me know. I would appreciate knowing if you're a fan of cauliflower. Marie, how are you? Let me see if I can get my mod up here. There she is. Let me see if I can invite her. Perfect. If you like cauliflower, let me know. Okay, I have one. Patricia or Pat says yes. So the way I do my cauliflower, this is going to be a cauliflower mash. Has anyone ever had a cauliflower mash before?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Benjamin? I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you being here. So, cauliflower. It has this really big root. The way I take it out, I'm going to get my knife. Actually, I'm going to show you guys how I take it out. I'll put you around my neck so you get the bird eye view. Okay? So here's what I do. I just take my knife. Hi, Rosie. How you doing? We'll put it in there. I'm going to put it in there again. Kind of cut it, popping the root out. Popping the root out. That's all I wanted to do. This is going to be for future stock later. I'll use that for my future stock or broths. So that's all I do to pull out the root, and I'm just going to take these little leaves out. Like I said, we're going to be making a cauliflower mash. So if you didn't hear it earlier, my name is Benjamin. Thank you for coming to Cooking with Father, Chopping Up with Father. And tonight is kind of date night food. So this whole week, all of us content creators on FoodTokTV were challenged with doing things that are stuffed. So I thought I would provide a meal or show you a meal that is considered like maybe a date night. You know, it will get you to the end zone. I would rely on you to get to the touchdown, but at least get you to the end zone if you know what I mean. And this is that meal for today. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop my cauliflower. But here's something that's really cool. I'm gonna take one floret especially, and I'm gonna slice it very, very, very thin. And I'm also gonna use this as a garnish. So let's see. Just cut off. My goal is I want to be able to have little cauliflower pieces, so like this. You're going to see what I'm going to do with that eventually. And if I can just do that, perfect. I just need 2 pieces like that. Then I'm going to break this cauliflower up into chunks. Where are you from in the chat? If you don't mind telling me in the chat where you're from, I would appreciate knowing. So in this pot, I have chicken broth that's been steaming, and I need to steam my cauliflower. So that's all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this pot, or add the cauliflower to the pot or the pan, and I'm gonna let this steam up, and we'll go from there. And this is gonna steam it so that I can puree it and make a cauliflower mash. I appreciate everyone being here.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. Let me do the FoodTok TV spiel. Let's go. Welcome to FoodTok TV. Right now, you're watching Benjamin cooking or chopping with the Father, and he's got a great menu for us: shrimp cake, stuffed salmon, served with mashed cauliflower and parsley sauce, Arancini with goat cheese and braised beef, and anti-martini glass, dirty martini, if time allows. So welcome in, tap that screen, and I'm going to be pretty quiet, guys, because he's a teacher and I'm learning too. You got questions, put them in the chat and I'll interrupt them.
Yes, feel free. Okay, perfect. So here's what I'm going to do. These little pieces of cauliflower, I'm going to hit them with a little bit of olive oil. Then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Now, I'll say this. Me being from a background of food and beverage, everyone's probably seen that guy Salt Bay, and he does like the salt whatever, you know, off his elbow. So let me tell you this. People like that. I'm going to tell you my personal opinion. I'm a little worried about that. Being in the restaurant business for over 20 years, you sweat a lot. There's a lot of sweat happening. Am I right, Melissa?
Oh, yeah.
So understand this. When he's doing that stuff and it's falling, all that salt that's falling to the food, it's sweat. So I don't know about you. I don't want to be tasting someone else's sweat. So I don't think that's that fancy. So I would recommend be careful on how you get your food served to you. But that's just a side note. Okay, now I need to cut a shallot. Has anyone ever had shallots? Are you familiar with shallots? Lovely Lydia says salt with the side of sweat. Yes. Has anyone ever worked with shallots?
Yes.
Kind of like this. It's like a French onion. The best way to describe it. It's very flavorful, not as sharp and bitter or potent. Now, the way I need to dice them. So what I'm going to do, I'm slicing them one way. So they're kind of slicing the lengthway, as you can see. So they're sliced this way. Then I'm going to go the opposite way. Now I have sliced them horizontal. I sliced them vertical. Now I'm going to slice them to a point where they'll get cubed automatically. So this is where I say a lot of times you don't need all these fancy gadgets. You just need certain skills to learn to cook certain meals. Now I need this finely diced. So not only chopped, but I need to finely dice. And this is going to be for the shrimp cake that I will be using. But I appreciate everyone being here. And who in here likes salmon? Because I'm cooking with salmon today. And who in here likes shrimp? You like shrimp? Do you like salmon? What's your guys' thoughts on shrimp and salmon? And
I like shrimp. I like shrimp. Let's see those answers. Let's see them, guys. Lovely Lydia says yes and yes, and Chris says me. Corey says me. Angelina, seafood is the best.
Oh, cool, perfect. Well, I appreciate that. And this is all dicing is very fine. I need this to be very fine in a shrimp cake. I don't want the onion to overpower the whole dish. So this type of cut, it looks fancy. It's really not. All it is, I'm holding the knife with one hand. My other hand's just guiding it. That's all. It's nothing too complicated. But what happens sometimes when you cut onions and shallots and garlic, you start crying. And that's happening right now. So just know that I'm excited that you're here, but I'm also crying because of the gases that are coming out of the shallots. Now that I've had all I do, put this in a little bowl, set it aside. Next, we are going to be juicing some lemons. So what I'm doing right now, you're seeing me doing a lot of prepping in advance. What this method is called getting your mise en place in order. It's a fancy French term of just getting prepped. The French helped design the way we cook in the restaurant business. So that's what I'm doing right now, is getting my mise en place in order so that when it's time to execute, everything's ready to go. I have some garlic cloves right here that I need for a recipe. I don't need these chopped. I need them roasted. So I have my air fryer right here. I'm going to put them in my air fryer. But while I'm doing that, I'll put it in my air fryer. My air fryer is a little different than everyone else's. It's like a rack. It's like a little miniature oven. I'm going to put my cauliflower little trees on there. I'm going to roast the garlic and roast the cauliflower. And I'm doing it at about 350 degrees, my air fryer. And then I'm going to do 5 minutes. I'm going to see what 5 minutes looks like. Then every 5 minutes, I will keep checking on it because I don't want it to overcook. I don't want it to burn. Next is going to be the lemon juicing. So what happened? Oh, someone says I'm crying. What? Oh, it's
because you're happy everybody's here. That's why.
Oh, yes. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you all. I appreciate that. If this is your first time seeing me, let me know. Oh, thank you, Chris. If this is your first time seeing me, let me know. And also I see some names in here that people I've seen always, so I appreciate your support and thank you for being here. As you know, I love this little juicer. I have this juicer. It's like my favorite thing. It works really well. I always get asked questions, why don't I use like the juicer that you get like at a taco shop? I just feel this one juices everything really good. So it gets everything out that I need. And now I'm going to set aside my juice.
Welcome, Julie. First time seeing. Benjamin's a wonderful teacher. Welcome in.
Well, thank you, Julie. I appreciate it. Pleasure meeting you. So here's the next step I have. I have quite a bit of things I need to work on. I need to start working on my sauce. I'm doing a parsley sauce, and I'm going to do something called blanching. So in this pot, I will actually show you what's going on. In this pot right here, I have chicken stock, and I need to blanch some spinach. Okay, dump it in there. And what my goal is, I need it to get wilted. And it's not boiling water, but it is something that I need to wilt a little bit. I need to wilt it, and you're gonna see that it's gonna get like very soft, soggy. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And it's gonna be about 30 seconds, maybe a little bit longer. And perfect. Then now I'm gonna take it out. I have some ice in here. And this will be for a sauce that I'll be doing. And then give me one moment. So what you heard was some liquid hitting the oil. I have oil right here, so I'm actually going to cover it so I don't have liquid hitting the oil no more. So
hey, Andrea's in here. Andrea's in here, Benjamin.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you.
Hi, Kim.
Appreciate it. So perfect. Now here is what's happening next. Parsley. Who in here likes parsley?
Me.
Parsley is, I think, an underrated herb. It's amazing. I'm going to just put the leaves in there. Now, if you haven't seen me cook before, I save all of my end pieces, and I use that for future stocks and broths. So just know that's what I'm doing with all the pieces I'm not using. I never throw things away.
We have a question, Benjamin. I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir.
No, that's fine. Never say sorry. What's the question?
Okay, how long do you steam the cauliflower to make it soft enough?
So I will keep checking it. So what I'm doing right now is it's already been there for about 6 minutes to 7 minutes. And I'm just going to keep checking on it until it's tender to the point I like. And it probably could take 10 to 15 minutes. But it does vary. Depends on the thickness of how quick or how chunky you had the cauliflower. So it could vary.
Okay, I got another question from Miguel. Yes. Miguel wants to know the difference, Father or Benjamin, between onion and shallot.
Okay, well, they're all part of the onion family. So there's leeks, there's green onions. Technically, green onions are baby onions. There's red onions. So they all have a different profile. The best way I can describe a shallot, it is the flavor of a red onion, but it also there's a sweetness component to it has like a sweet onion taste, and it's less sharp. So like onions tend to have like a real strong bite to it. Shallots don't have that strong bite, I don't feel. So here's the ice bath. Now I put it into the ice bath, and we're gonna go back over here. So hopefully that makes sense to you, but I just don't feel it's as strong. Like if anyone's
I think it's like kind of like an onion and a garlic had a baby.
Yeah, it definitely has that flavor, that taste too. So what I need to do now is I need to drain out the liquid. I don't want this liquid. Okay. So I'm gonna squeeze out the liquid.
Hey Jen, welcome in.
Hey, how you doing? So squeeze out the liquid. And now notice I blanched all this in chicken broth, so that is adding additional flavor instead of using water. You can just use water, but why not use additional flavor if you have the option to use it? I always have chicken broth in my house because every week I'm making chicken broth. Hey Tatiana, how you doing? So let me wash my hands real quick.
Excellent idea, blanching and the stock. I love that. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Another level of flavor.
Perfect. Now let me work on something else. Let's check on the air fryer. Give it a little moment. Everything looks like it needs a little more time. And let's start working on our shrimp cakes. So has anyone ever had a shrimp cake before? Very similar to a crab cake. Just very similar to a crab cake. It's just a shrimp cake. It's not too complicated. It's really simple. At least my version is simple. And we'll see what everyone thinks. So here's how simple it's going to be for right now. I have already diced up shrimp. This is shrimp that I've already diced up to make it a
Hey,
little easier.
JDP, welcome in.
JDP, how you doing? So I already diced up the shrimp to make it a little easier. So it's just literally diced very fine. As you can see how diced fine it is, it's just diced really fine.
Is it raw,
special.
Benjamin?
Yes,
is that raw?
Yes, this is raw shrimp.
Okay, thank you.
So that's a great question to ask, and I appreciate it. So I'm actually going to take about a tablespoon and a half of mayonnaise. Now, fun fact: I've actually known a lot of people who like I don't eat mayonnaise because it's dairy. I don't have dairy. So I'm gonna give you some news. Mayonnaise doesn't have dairy. I don't know if anyone does that new news to anyone that mayonnaise doesn't have dairy?
I think a lot of people think eggs dairy.
Yeah, they're not from a cow. It's from the cluck cluck animal. Chicken.
Yep, cluck cluck.
Not a moo moo, but a cluck cluck. Okay, I added my shallots. I'm gonna add some chopped up parsley. Okay, I'm also gonna add a little bit of lemon juice.
Becky, he just was saying that no, they're not. Eggs are not dairy. They come from chickens. They don't come from cows.
Yeah, that's right. So this is Old Bay seasoning. I normally don't have Old Bay, but a good friend of mine, one day I was making crab cakes, and she's from the East Coast, and she gave me a hard time, like, how could you not use Old Bay? That's what we do here. And so I one day bought it. She just took, okay, I'm gonna buy it, and it actually is a good flavor. I just chose not to do it.
You bought an industrial size, dude.
Yeah, I know, and that was the one thing too. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna add a little bit of stone ground mustard. Sorry, Taylor, I don't have fresh mustard like you. I wish one day maybe I'll learn that. Okay, while this is setting, I'm gonna let that set. I have another pan right here. I need to work on making another sauce that's gonna be for one of my other dishes. I'm gonna get some leftover beef jus, which is sauce. So if this is your first time seeing me, you'll see a lot of times the way my lives work. I show you things that are maybe practical in the household, but also I show you how I reuse food. A few days ago, I made risotto. I also made beef ribs. And I'm going to show you how you can take leftovers and make it very elegant, and no one will know it was leftovers. So this is a leftover jus, which is a French word of sauce that I have left over from when I did my beef ribs. I'm going to add it to this.
I got a question.
Yes.
What's the difference between jus, as in J-U-S, and au jus?
It's pretty much the same thing. Au jus just was typically served with prime rib.
Okay.
It's just a word, but it's just a wording. I'm just being lazy and not saying au jus.
Okay.
You're
always teaching me something.
Thanks for calling me out saying I'm lazy. I appreciate it.
No.
So here's what I'm gonna do. There's cornstarch in here. I'm gonna do something called a slurry. I have about a teaspoon of cornstarch in here. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons roughly of water. Just Arizona water. Arizona water is the key. I can sell it to you for $20 a gallon. I'm just kidding. Just any water. I am mixing this up, and it's gonna make a slurry. What this is gonna do, while this sauce reduces, it's gonna thicken it up. Because I want the sauce thick, and every now and then I'm gonna test it out and see how it's looking. But that is gonna slowly thicken over time. Now what I need to do is check my cauliflower. So for the ones who are wondering about cauliflower, how long does it take? So let's check it out. I'm gonna lift it up.
Birdie.
Okay, I want to be able to I want it to be very tender. It's almost there. I can put my fork in. It almost comes out. Think of like a potato if you're doing mashed potatoes. You don't want it completely mush, but you do want it soft. So it's almost there. I am going to turn down the heat to make sure I don't overcook it.
Me too, Cats and Cookies.
What's the me too?
Cats and Cookies loves cauliflower.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And then next, what I'm going to be doing, when time allows, is, give me one moment.
FoodTok TV, time does not allow, Benjamin. It just goes and TikToks away. By the way, FoodTok TV, give me 3 seconds. FoodTok TV, guys. Tap that screen, share. All these likes go to FoodTok TV that give Benjamin, myself, and other creators the opportunity to share our knowledge and our passion with you all.
Homemade breadcrumbs. What I do is I buy the discounted bread at the grocery store. I toast it up, put it in my food processor, and that's it. It's your homemade breadcrumbs. I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs in there. I don't want to add too much because I don't want it to be completely breadcrumb. I want to be able to taste the shrimp. The breadcrumb works as a binder. It makes it be able to form a cake. So that's all I'm doing. And perfect. That's all I want. I'm gonna set it to the side. Let me move some stuff. I have to, in order for me to cook, I always had to have a clean kitchen.
Let's go. Justin,
So
raining down chilies. Let's go.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, here's what I have. This is flour, and this is butter. I'm going to be making something called a roux. Does anyone know what a roux is? I'm going to be adding it to this pan, this pot. It's equal parts of fat and flour, but this one's going to be a blonde roux. So what I'm going to do is all it's going to do is combine together, and it's going to be a base for a sauce. Has anyone ever made a roux before? It's R-O-U-X.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And my sauce is thickening up over here. That's great.
Becky wants to know, Benjamin, do you season your breadcrumbs?
Yes, when I toast them, I do olive oil, salt, and pepper. So that's when I toast them. So they're already seasoned before I grind them up, I guess you can kind of say. But it's your choice how you want to season it. I like to have that type of seasoning in there. I feel it adds flavor. So next is, give me one moment. So what's happening, let me show you what's happening in this mixture. Perfect. So it is thickening up, it's combining. This is called a blonde roux because it's the color. So if anyone who's from more of like the Louisiana side, if you were to keep mixing this up, you will get a dark roux, which is typically in gumbo. And that's what gives it the dark color, would be the dark roux. So it would actually get nutty and as in a taste, and the color will change. But I don't need it to be a dark roux. I want it to be a blonde roux. And so what I do with this is making a bechamel sauce. All I'm going to do is take milk, now add it to this, and mix it up. And what that's going to happen, that flour butter mixture is going to thicken up this milk, and it'll make a bechamel, which is a cream sauce. Then if I wanted to, I can add cheese to that. And then you can have a cheesy sauce. But yeah.
Chris wants to know if you have something under your mug, Benjamin.
I do. Just a plate.
Oh, it's a plate. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Chris.
But good eye. Yeah. So now I'm still checking on stuff. Now my cauliflower is done. Anytime you have a lid with a metal handle, always touch it. Make sure it's not too hot. No reason to burn yourself. I've done it many times. I would say learn from me, learn from my mistakes, okay? Now what I am going to do is put the cauliflower in here. So I need it to I don't need all the chicken broth right now. And actually, I'm going to do this quicker. Sometimes you learn things to do quicker. Sometimes you've got to make it simpler for yourself.
Welcome in, Texrel. We're glad you're here.
Perfect. Don't need that. Let me clean up after myself, like always. Perfect. Let me mix my liquid.
Hey, y'all.
Let me keep cleaning. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay. Benjamin's doing a great job.
Perfect. I have a lot to do today. So, a lot going on today. Put that there. Don't need this no more.
I think Benjamin moves around faster than I do in the kitchen, to be honest.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Especially when the things that I cook sometimes can be a little complicated, and 5 seconds can make and break it, especially when you're trying to cook 2 different things at the same time. If I was just cooking one of these things, okay, I'll be taking my time.
Right.
I'll be talking to you. It's a little different because I have an hour.
Yep,
Working
you
with an
got an
hour.
hour. That's right. Oh, guys, Kyle just called it out. Kyle Beasley, tap, tap, tap that
Oh,
screen.
thank you
Let's
for
go.
tapping. So here's the thing. Let's work on our cheese. Leftover risotto. Like I said, this is gonna be a dish that you're using with leftovers. Okay. I'm gonna do about a cup and a half of leftover risotto. I'm eyeballing it, doing the best you can to eyeball it.
Yeah, Benjamin said that's his love language is risotto.
I love risotto. So if anyone makes risotto for you, trust me, they love you because the amount of time it takes to cook.
That's what
It
I say
actually,
about tamales, because when I make
yeah, it
tamales,
actually,
I love you.
that was hot. Like I said, be careful when you touch a metal, lid. So be careful, okay? I have smoke happening. So the
Awesome.
point is, notice right now I have oil that was very hot. If I panic right now, it's gonna get bad. And you got to be able to be calm and just don't freak out when something bad doesn't go your way. In the kitchen, unfortunately, things like this happen, and you got to be able to adjust.
Sunflower, I will tell Benjamin. Benjamin, we've got people that would love to learn how to make risotto.
Yeah, you know what? I actually am going to be doing a video on it soon, so you will see that soon. And give me my next step is who here likes goat cheese? If you like goat cheese, I'm going to
Grow
be
up the
showing you.
goat emotes. Put the goat emotes in if you like goat cheese.
So what I'm going to be doing is adding goat cheese to this bowl. I'm going to be adding leftover braised beef ribs.
People like goat cheese.
I'm going to be adding some parsley. Okay. I'm going to add some parsley to my risotto mixture. I'm going to be adding
Nina
some
likes
parmesan.
goats. Goat cheese.
People like goats?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Lena
good.
put goats up. Yes, let's
Okay,
go.
parmesan to my risotto mixture. Then let me check my sauce. 1 moment. Perfect. So next I'm going to do is about getting your hands dirty. So I'm going to mix my goat cheese and shredded braised beef. This is leftovers. This is all stuff that's leftovers that I can make a dish out of.
We have a question, Benjamin.
Yes.
Our lovely Lydia would like to know, sir, what's the difference between goat cheese and blue cheese?
Blue cheese. Okay, so blue cheese is usually made from a cow, but you can have goat cheese. You can have blue cheese that's made from a goat. Um, the way blue cheese is made, it's a certain way of making it, and those veins that happen, it's mold. So here's the thing: mold is not necessarily a bad thing. It's also known as fermentation. Okay, fermentation is a natural way of preserving food. But look at this is all the risotto. It's all mixed with Parmesan and also with parsley. I don't have to season it anymore because it's already been seasoned. But to answer your question, blue cheese is a certain way to make cheese. So is cheddar. All of that is certain ways of cooking, or not necessarily cooking, but being a cheesemonger, you're babying the cheese. Cheese actually could take a long time to make. Sometimes it can take years. It can take months. Um, Also, another fun fact, if you're not aware, American cheese is not actual cheese. So if I'm giving you bad news, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to. But yeah, American cheese is not actual cheese. So you didn't know that. Perfect.
Justin's going ham on the
Okay.
chilies.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Grab some risotto. Okay. I'm gonna make it like a little flat plate. I'm gonna stuff the meat and cheese mixture. I'm gonna wrap it around with the risotto. Make a ball. Okay. I'm gonna do 3 of these. Make it flat. Goat and cheese meat mixture. And I'm gonna wrap it around. Okay. You have to throw it in the air.
It
Okay.
reminds me of a very fancy papusa that I like to make.
Oh yeah. You have to throw it in the air, people. It doesn't taste the same. Okay. Just remember that. And then this is using leftover products. Keep in mind, this is all leftover. So your hot date, you don't have to tell them to use leftovers.
Nope.
There you go. Perfect balls right here that are 3. Now let me get rid of these plates.
Does this mean you're having a date with 2 other people tonight? That's interesting.
Who is?
Are you having a date with 2 other people tonight? Is it a
No.
three-way date?
So I guess the way it works, gentlemen, this is where if you want to be right or you want to be happy. There's one for you. There's one for the lady. There's one for the lady. Okay.
That's right.
Right or be right or
Oh
be
my
happy.
goodness. Benjamin goes, there's one for the guy and there's 2 for the ladies.
So take notes. Okay, next is, let me put my oil over here. Take my risotto balls over here. Let me check on my garlic and my parmesan. Okay. Garlic is roasted. My cauliflower needs a little more time. So I am going to just toast it a little more at 350 for, I'm going to say 3 minutes because I don't want to overdo it. Nothing like some burnt food. You don't want that to happen. Okay, next is going to be checking my sauces. I'm checking the consistency of the bechamel. I'm checking the consistency of the roux. If you notice, I'm using 2 hands. You learn how to use 2 hands, people. The best 2 tools in the kitchen is going to be a knife and your hands. Okay. So I am going to move my cutting board because I don't believe I need it no more. And we're going to be working on a breading station in a little bit. And I need to work on curing my cauliflower. So here's where the cauliflower is going to come and play now. Sorry if it's a little loud. I don't mean it to be loud. But in the kitchen, sometimes it is loud. Put your cauliflower in. Okay. Whoop, things are falling. I'm going to add a little bit of broth. The same broth that I use to blanch and also cook the cauliflower in. I'm using the same broth. Give me one moment while I'm checking my sauce. Make sure it's thickening up. It is thickening up. Let me clean up for a second. So here's what you're going to do. I have some compound butter. That is a mixture of butter and herbs. I'm going to add this to there. And it's going to melt because of the cauliflower. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And it's going to melt because of the cauliflower. Okay, hearing a little echoing. Hopefully we're good. Okay, add some pepper. Check on my sauces. They're looking good. They're thickening up. Now here, it's going to get a little loud, people. I'm sorry about that. It's going to get a little loud. I don't mean it to be, but sometimes that happens. Okay. Okay. So it's not as, you know what? Is everyone hearing an echo? Is everyone hearing an echo?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, Melissa, we're hearing an echo from your side.
Is everyone hearing an echo? Yes. Echo.
Yeah, Melissa, we're hearing an echo from your side. So, Melissa, if you're able to go to your home screen on your phone, then come back. That should take the echo away. If you're able to go to your home screen on your phone, then come back. That should take the echo away. Hold on. Sorry, Melissa, I did have to mute you for a moment. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But if you can go back to your home screen and come back and unmute yourself, that should work. Perfect. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna taste it to make sure it tastes like what you want. Needs a little more salt. Nothing wrong with that. Needs a little more pepper. Okay. Blend it again. Okay. Perfect. Now what I am gonna do, because there is liquid in here, I don't necessarily want all that liquid. So I am going to grab a spoon and I am going to, the amount that I need for a plate, I'm going to put in here and the liquid will naturally drop off. So I'm going to grab a bowl to put it in. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna set all this to the side, and we'll come back to this in a little bit. Okay, my sauce is thickening up, so let me show you how you can tell if your sauce is ready to go. So when you look right here in this pot, I'm gonna grab a spoon. The bottom of the spoon should be coated. See how it's coated? And if I could do a line like this, that means it's done. So that means my sauce is ready. I'm gonna turn off the heat. Heat is off. Perfect. And let me check on something else. One moment. Just cleaning up. And I'm gonna I gotta keep cleaning in order to cook more. So I'm sorry about that. And then is Melissa back? Oh, is Melissa here? Let me see if I can invite you back up. Oh, sorry, JDP, I invited you accidentally. Please ignore that. I was trying to hit Melissa, and then all of a sudden, Melissa's name skipped, and I don't know what happened. Okay, next is the arancinis, or arancinis, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Can you use broccoli in place of cauliflower? Absolutely, you can. You can definitely use broccoli in place of cauliflower. There's nothing wrong with that. You can also just you can puree anything that you want. Depends on your profile of taste. So that's a great question. I have a 3 breading station system right here. I have flour, egg, and breadcrumbs. So here's all I'm going to do with that. I'm going to grab my arancini balls. I'll let you guys see this right here. Dip it in the flour. Okay. The reason you do flour first, the flour sticks to the rice ball. Then you do egg. The egg sticks to the flour. Then next, I'm going to do breadcrumbs. And the breadcrumbs stick to the egg. Okay. And I'm going to repeat this process 3 different times. Okay. And then, perfect. This is all I'm going to do. Hey, how you doing? Thank you all for your patience on seeing me do this. I appreciate it. Once again, flour, egg, then breadcrumbs. The reason we do that way is because they all work with each other. The flour sticks to the rice. And the same thing works like if you're making chicken tenders or something cutlets. Same process. Flour sticks to the protein, egg sticks to the flour, then the breadcrumbs stick to the egg. Same concept. Here we go. And has anyone ever had arancinis before, which is risotto balls? Has anyone ever had that? Or is this a foreign concept to anyone? Now, so keep in mind, it's using all left items. Now, notice I had one hand clean, one hand dirty, one hand clean. There's a purpose for that. It makes life a little easier when you're cleaning up. So let me wash my hands real quick while I'm doing this. Okay. Perfect. Now I'm going to set the balls over here. They're ready to be cooked when it's time. And let's work on making our parsley sauce. So I need my blender, which is right here. Blender's right here. Inside my blender, I'm going to add lemon juice. I'm going to add roasted garlic. I'm actually using the whole shells. Like it would be blended really well. I don't have to worry about it. Parsley and spinach mixture. Okay. My cream sauce. Salt. Pepper. And then we add a little bit of chicken broth. Perfect. And if I need more, I'll get more. Then we're gonna put this to blend. It might be a little out. Oh, Melissa's trying to come up. Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, we're gonna let it rip.
Chris, thanks for the potato head, or the potato French potato. Hey, Babs. Welcome in, everybody. You guys are watching Food Talk TV. This is Benjamin, our newest creator, on every Thursday at noon Central Standard Time. Welcome in.
I'm going to add some more cream. Then I'm going to add some more chicken stock.
Welcome in, Maria.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Then, here's what we're going to do. Let it puree again.
Y'all are doing great, guys. Tap, 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 tap that screen. Show Benjamin some love. Tapping, clapping.
Okay, I'm going to check the consistency of the sauce. Perfect. It's looking pretty good. I am going to add the rest of the cream to thick it up.
Perfect. It's looking pretty good. I am going to add the rest of the
Melissa, you're echoing again.
Perfect. It's looking pretty good. I am going to add the rest of the
You're echoing again. You're echoing again, Melissa.
Perfect. It's looking pretty good.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is do a double strainer. You see me cook always. I love my strainers. It helps strain the sauces back. And I'm just going to pour it in there. It's going to hold back all the pulp.
Are you going out?
So I just need the liquid.
You're gonna stay in?
Okay. Then we put the blender away.
Hey, Benjamin, am I echoing now?
Now you're good.
Okay, it's every time you run the blender.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
Okay,
Mark's
well,
been
I
sitting
think-
here figuring it out.
Okay, well, I'm done running blenders.
Well,
So-
dadgum, we got to run blenders to make parsley sauce. So there you go.
Well, I'm done now. Okay, let me work on getting my area cleaned up because now we're going to start cooking. Everything is prepared.
Okay, I've had people asking what you're making. Do you want me to say it or do you want to say it?
Yeah, if you don't mind saying while I'm getting myself in order real quick.
Yes, sir. Okay, Benjamin today is making shrimp cake stuffed salmon served with mashed cauliflower and the parsley sauce that we just saw him make. Arancini with goat cheese and braised beef and an anti-martini glass dirty martini if time allows. That is a great menu in an hour. Come on, y'all.
Okay.
And this is stuffed.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Salmon. Salmon, okay? All I'm going to do, slice it down the middle. Not all the way though to the point, like I want to touch the bottom of it. I don't want to pierce the bottom. But I'm just opening it up, creating a pocket. Now, notice I'm going to do something. You're always going to see me this, that whatever hand touches raw meat, the other hand will never touch the raw meat. Because if I was to dip this hand in here and it touched the fish, the minute I go back in here, I've contaminated all of this. So I'm going to purposely put it in the side right there. And then now I'm going to stuff it with one hand. And all I'm doing is filling in the gap that I just did. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Because like if I was to take this hand, put it in that mixture, then yeah, then you don't want to cross-contaminate things, okay? Even though it's just seafood, both of them are seafood, it still doesn't work. It just be safe. When you're cooking, you can get someone sick, literally. So you don't want to you don't want to be the person that gets someone sick. It's not a good feeling. Okay. Next is olive oil. Okay. Then salt and pepper. Okay. Then I'm going to start working on my oil to see how hot my oil is. I'm going to do a little test. So I'm going to start working on the fried arancinis. Okay. It's hot, but it needs to be hotter. Okay, cool. Next, did I do pepper? Okay. In this pan, right here, stainless steel, I've been heating up for a while. And one thing I need to do is make sure this pan is hot enough in order to, so this is that gravy sauce. I need the stainless steel pan to be hot enough to sear the salmon. One of the common mistakes people make when they're cooking, they don't have their pans hot enough when they sear. And what happens, instead of getting a nice crust, you actually end up steaming something instead of searing something. I don't want to steam, I want to sear. You want something called GBD, which is golden brown and delicious. And I need that pan to get really hot, and it's not there yet. So what we can do is take advantage of this time is start frying up the arancinis. Okay, so here's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you guys see the frying action, okay? So hopefully you can see in here, this pot. I'm gonna do like one at a time because they are big balls in there. And we're gonna let those fry. They'll probably take about 5 to 8 minutes. But what I'm gonna do is fry each side for about 3 minutes. But I will test it out to see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. And now, one thing you want to try to use, if you don't have one of these, use this. It's a spider. It's to help make sure you get, when you're frying something, it actually helps with getting the oil to seep through all the openings. If you were to use a spoon, then the oil is just going to be stuck in there. The minute I take this out of the frying oil, I don't need it to be full of oil. I don't need it to be soggy. I want it to be just nice and crispy. And look at what we're doing. Can you see the color on that right now? Melissa, can you respond to me if you can see the color on that?
Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Are you talking about me or the arancini?
Well, the arancini too, of course.
Okay, thank you. And I'm gonna do it one at a time. It doesn't take too much time. Man, why is my pan taking forever to get up? It's okay. We're gonna figure this out. And
Gorgeous brown, delicious. That's right.
Perfect. Just letting it time. During this time, always a reminder to take some water.
Yep. Drink some water. Hydrate.
Okay. And what I am going to do is actually going to work on getting my prepping station set up.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to take this opportunity really quick to welcome y'all into FoodTok TV. We appreciate you being here. Benjamin's our newest creator. He's on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Chopping it up with Father. He's excellent teacher. He goes on 5 times a week at least on his own channel, which is Cooking with Father Preneur. Check it out.
Okay. I'm going to take the first arancini out. Now, if you're not aware, arancini actually is from Italy. It could be debated on what part of Italy. It could be Sicily, northern area. Here's the thing about it. Part of the reason arancini is Italy and not, let's say, a pasta dish, it has to do with the Arab rule when the Arabs were in charge of the Italy area. And the Arabs brought rice and they brought saffron to Italy. So that's kind of where the history of that dish comes from.
Saffron's one of my faves.
Okay, while this is happening, we know we need about another 5 minutes of those frying up. We have our parsley sauce. I've strained it, put it into my squeeze bottle. Okay.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful green color. Okay. Then put that away, put it in your bottle. There you go. And we'll go from there. Give me one moment.
Hey, Benjamin, where did you get that funnel? I love the silicone grip. You know, the little red.
To be honest, we've had it for so long. The funnel we probably got at Marshall's or Home Goods or something like that.
That's fabulous.
But I've had it literally for 10 years. Yeah. Okay, I'm flipping the arancini. Okay, now let me see if my pan's hot. Pan is hot. Okay, here's how we're gonna cook this. Salmon, oil. Okay, it's dripping oil. That's good. It's so hot. I'm gonna take it off the heat because you see all that smoke. Don't get scared of smoke.
Don't be scared.
The pan is hot. Okay. I'm gonna sear the bottom part because I want that bottom part to be very nice and crispy. And now I'm going to finish cooking it in my air fryer, which is going to cook the inside and the outside of it. But I'm going to get my air fryer on because I want it very hot. So now I'm going to put it back on the burner. Don't get scared of smoke. If you notice, the smoke kind of disappeared. Just needed a few moments.
I got a question for you. I've got a food question about how long will you cook the salmon?
So I'm going to sear the salmon on the pan right now that it's in for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to put it in my air fryer for about 10 minutes. and then it'll be fully cooked. This is a pretty big piece of salmon. Then anytime you stuff something, understanding that you have to cook it longer because you've added more weight to that product. Okay. Next is the last arancini ball. We're gonna drop it like it's hot. There we go. Okay. We might have time for a cocktail.
Okay, Mike has a question. Can you pan fry salmon until it's done?
Absolutely, you can. Absolutely, you can. Nothing wrong with that. You can definitely do that. So it looks like we might have time for a cocktail. I'm gonna try to whip it out. Let's see if we can, but hopefully, I don't know. But here's what you can tell with salmon. I'll show you a little bit once I'm done frying these arancini balls, okay? Give me 1 second. Here's what 2 of them look like right now. They're perfectly golden brown. That's called GBD.
I bet he can do it, Miguel. I have no doubt.
This is a fish spatula. It's meant to pick up fish. So here's what we're gonna do. Perfect. I'm gonna check the bottom. I'm gonna lift it up a little bit. It's getting a nice crust. I lifted up just a tiny bit. I want to see what it looked like. And that tiny bit looked good. Perfect. Now, while that's happening, we're going to start working on our cocktail.
Woohoo!
Okay. Give me 1 moment. And okay, cocktail shaker, okay?
You got to toss it in the air like that for it to be good.
Half ounce of vermouth, white vermouth.
Ooh, yeah.
I have gin. I prefer gin.
Yes.
I'm going to do 2.5 ounces of gin.
At 10:52 Mount Time.
Oh, yeah. Now, keep in mind, the whole idea is stuff, right? So you'll see this in a little bit. I'm not stuffing something right now. I've stuffed something in advance. So let me check my salmon real quick. Skin is looking nice and golden brown. Let me show you what I'm looking for in the bottom of the skin. Let's see if you can see this. You're going to get the bird's eye view. See that brownness?
Nice.
You see that? That's what you want. I want that nice and crispiness, okay? Next is, because like I said, it's date night, we're going to do dirty martini, right? Nothing wrong with that. So what I'm going to do is some olive juice. Okay, about a half an ounce. You can put, depending on how dirty you are, you can add a little more dirty.
Yeah,
No
I would
judgment
be
here.
really dirty.
No judgment here, okay? Then we will go from here. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to start mixing it up yet because I need to finish cooking the salmon. What I am going to do is I'm going to take it off of the pan and I am going to transfer it to my other pan. And I'll show you right now. Here's our cauliflower. It's nice and crispy.
Gorgeous.
It's for a garnish. That's for a garnish. So I was able to use the cauliflower itself as a garnish. So what I'm going to do now, lift it up, put it on here, turn off the heat, put it in there, in my air fryer. If you didn't have an air fryer, you have like a regular oven, do 400 degrees. It'll work. And sometimes the racks are a little fussy. Okay, we're let it
Correct,
cook.
Maria Mall. Correct.
What's the correct?
Maria Mall said she needs a beer, but she thinks it might be frowned upon before an echocardiogram. I said that would be correct.
Okay, perfect. Next, let me work on doing the martini. Oh, how about the risotto? So one of the risottos is a little darker, and that's okay. I did forget about the last risotto ball we had. So one's going to be a little darker. But here's the cocktail. We have some ice right here. Okay, have your glass. So the reason it's an anti-martini glass, being in the business for so long of restaurants, the number one glass you always keep buying are martini glasses because of the long stem, and they always crack. Even in my house, they always crack.
Yep.
So I got to the point where I got tired of having to buy martini glasses.
Ridiculous. Yep.
So you know what I just said? I'm just gonna drink. At the end of the day, it's not the glass that makes it taste well. It's the way you make your drink. I have a very cold glass that's been in the fridge. You look how cold it is. You can see how soft it is. Okay. And then all I'm gonna do is pour it into my glass. Now, it's meant to be very cold. This is a cold drink. Then what the part that is stuffed, I actually have my own, I bought my own olives and I stuffed them with my own preserved lemons that I made one day on my live.
Perfection.
So, now here's the one thing you can tell. You can't see it right now, but the ice crystals being formed on top of the martini glass. That's what you want. These are olives that have been stuffed with preserved lemons that I did myself. So that's the stuffed cocktail.
Gorgeous. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you. You are amazing, Benjamin.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Now I'm going to take the last arancini out of the plate. And what we're going to do is show you how we're going to plate it up. It's really simple. It's not complicated. All I'm going to do is get so it's about color contrast. White plate. Okay. Here. Brown sauce. Pour it on the middle. Okay. You want the sauce to stand out. Okay. Grab your arancinis. Now, one is darker than the other, so keep in mind, I said that earlier because I left one in a little bit too long.
That's mine.
So, okay. Push it. If you're doing a little 3-pile, then you need to get your parsley. If I can find my leftover parsley. All right here. Okay, a little bit of parsley. Okay, parsley works wonders for decoration. You're also gonna get a little bit of Parmesan cheese you have left over. And put a little more. Then you put a little more parsley on top. Then you grab your favorite kitchen towel. You clean up. And you look to see if you can add more sauce in the middle. Because you want the sauce to show. So here's the one thing you understand. Very high-end restaurants, you will see that simplicity is the most common thing that they'll do. You don't have to do a lot of you don't have to add a lot of things to make things look nice. I'm not saying it doesn't look nice if you add a bunch of stuff, but sometimes simplicity is key. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like right now. Now I'll give you a better look, but that's what it looks like right now. So what's in here? It's all leftover stuff. Look at this. Leftover risotto I used. Leftover braised beef I used. I used the leftover beef juice I had from the other day. I used goat cheese I already had open. I used Parmesan cheese I've had open. Everything in this was already something I had in, it's leftovers. I made date night with leftovers and they would never know. But I'm gonna set it to the side while I work on some other stuff, okay? Okay, my salmon's looking good, but it still needs more time. So, what time is it? How much? Okay,
it is 10:58 your time.
Okay, perfect. I'm probably going to end up doing about 1 hour and 5 minutes, and exactly what I did last time.
It's okay. So, it's not a problem. The only problem, Benjamin, just so you know, because I know this is your second show, is if you have a back-to-back show. You do not have a back-to-back show. You're doing fine.
Yeah, but I like the idea of being able to finish on time. I don't know. It's a challenge. Throw out Thursday. What's throw out Thursday? So actually, you know what? Something. Now that we get some time to talk, because I'm just waiting for my salmon to cook in the air fryer. So every Thursday, it's me and Taylor, Mustard Queen, and we both have backgrounds of food and beverage and cocktails. So every Thursday, me and Taylor are going to try to always do a cocktail, and we're calling it Throwback Thursdays. There's Wake Up Morning Wednesdays or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're doing. There's also one of the ones on Sundays. We're doing what is it? What did it say right now? Throwback Thursdays. Or no, Thirsty Thursdays. We're calling it Thirsty Thursdays. Sorry, calling it Thirsty Thursdays.
We've got somebody asking you to repeat what your menu is. I can do that for you unless you want to do it.
Yeah, if you don't mind doing it.
Okay, absolutely. Let me get over here to my paper. I'm going to my paper so I can read it properly. Okay, so what this wonderful, wonderful gentleman did for us today in an hour is shrimp cake stuffed salmon served with mashed cauliflower in a parsley sauce, arancini with goat cheese and braised beef, an anti-martini glass, a dirty martini, and he did it all in an hour. Just because he's gone over 5 minutes, he's talked for 5 minutes, so he's not really over.
Right now, I'm just waiting for the salmon to be done in my air fryer. So that's all I'm doing.
I think so too, Babs. Babs and I think you should go up against RX.
I'm not opposed to it.
I mean, we're all creators.
I'm not opposed to any challenge. I'm not opposed to it.
I just think for giggles. I think that's fun. Just for giggles, do it.
I'm not opposed to any challenge. So I like challenges. So
your menu shows that, sir. You are an outstanding cook, and I'm so glad you're here with us.
So part of this, using a piece that people typically would not use for a garnish, all I did was literally slice off a piece of cauliflower, toasted it. I'm going to use that for a garnish.
I love that.
Then I'm going to start working on decorating soon. Now, in order to start decorating, you're going to see that
my queen, he did work for over 20 plus years as a food and beverage director.
I need a measuring spoon. Some of you are saying that's a little weird. Why do you need a measuring spoon? You will see in a little bit. It's for the sauce that I will be doing, like the little plate design. This is to show you that you don't need fancy tools. If you have a measuring spoon, you can do anything. So you have a lot of things in your kitchen that you probably don't know that you could use to help decorate and make things fancy. Just because I have a squeeze bottle doesn't mean you need a squeeze bottle. You put it into a little cup and put it onto a plate with a spoon. I just happen to have a little extra gadgets because I've accumulated over time. And right now, we're just waiting for the salmon to cook.
Okay, while you do that, Benjamin, there are people that would like to know your history, sir, in the restaurant business.
Okay, perfect. So I was in the restaurant business for over 20 years. The last 15 years of that time, I was a director of food and beverage, a lot of like resorts and country clubs. That position is a position where you oversee the whole operation. So you oversee all the chefs, managers, everything. So do you need to be the best at everything? No, you need to hire the best people, but you also need to be aware of what to do. So like if anyone's ever worked with a chef before, chefs can be very tough to deal with. I'm trying to be polite right now. And if you're going to go tell a chef that they're wrong, you really need to know your stuff. So it's part of the job of knowing almost everything that there is to know. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I know everything, but always continue to learn. But because of that, I'm no longer in the food and beverage business, but I enjoy cooking for my family. So that knowledge is still there. I still study. I still do things. It's what I think was really cool about food, at least learning. It's a life lesson. Yes, it's great to learn how to do certain things in life, but if you could teach someone how to cook, it's a life lesson that they'll take for the rest of their life. That you kind of need to eat to live. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
So I think it's one of the best life lessons you can do. Like an example, my kids, they knew how to use a knife properly when they were like 7 years old, 8 years old. It's like just teaching. Starting early. My middle daughter, she just bakes and bakes and bakes. Like I'm gonna show this off for a little bit. We've been eating it up, but she made a tres leches cake. Now keep in mind, we've been eating it up. So she made a tres leches cake, which has 3 different layers of milk, and she did this herself. Because I taught her how to do a couple things in the kitchen one day, she took over, and I don't have to do anything in the kitchen no more when it comes to desserts. She's like, I got this, get out of here. And I'm not.
My daddy, I love you.
I'm more of a challenge if I'm in that. Okay, my salmon's almost ready, so here's what I'm gonna do. Plating up. The reason why I drained this is because there's leftover liquid. I didn't want that residual liquid in there. Okay, I'm gonna pile this up. This is the cauliflower mash. Okay. And how to up. Now, when you plate decorate, always use height to your advantage, okay? Height makes things look fancy. So I'm gonna push it together. And let me wash my hands real quick. This one, because I've been touching other things. That's why I was using both spoons. The best tool to use in the kitchen are going to be your hands.
Yep.
So
that's what I'd be using. There you go.
Okay. Next is I'm going to use a compound butter that I have left over. You will see a little bit what I'm going to do with that. Compound butter is just pretty much taking butter, making it soft, and adding whatever flavor you want to it. This has a bunch of herbs in it. So what I'm going to do is cut off a little medallion of compound butter. And I'm going to put my butter back. And this actually extends the life of the herb. Perfect. Next is getting set up properly. Salmon's going to go off any moment, like in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not yet. Maybe in a little bit more. I thought it was going to go off exactly. There we go. Okay, salmon is done. I'm going to grab my fish spatula, and I need to take that off.
Exactly, lovely Lydia. We reuse great things like that.
Okay, I'm going to lay it on top of the cauliflower using height to the advantage. I am going to put this butter on this hot piece of fish where that residual heat is going to melt that. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley, and then here's where you're going to use your sauce. Okay. Okay, check it up. See if this works properly. I might need more time to let it reduce, but I'll put a dollop. Okay, perfect. I'll put a dollop, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like right now. So far, I don't know if you can see it. It's just a dollop right there.
Gorgeous.
It's just a dollop right there, but we're not done. Grab this. Then all I'm gonna do is do a swirl and swirl.
Unimus.
And I'm gonna get my towel to clean up anything that needs to be missed. And let me show you this. So there you go.
That's a beautiful plate, sir.
There you go. So now what I am going to do, if you don't mind, I am going to clean up my area real quick right here so I can put all the dishes right side by side so you can see them real quick, okay?
Perfect.
Oh, actually, I forgot something. Hold on. Garnish. Let me show you what I do now. Okay. The extra little piece of cauliflower that I saved. Now, just by look at the difference.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. Just adding that little extra touch, and it was just a piece that I had to use. So, but give me one moment to clean up my area so I can put all the 2 dishes right here, and you can see what they look like.
So may I speak while you're cleaning your area?
Please do.
All right. Yes, sir. Let me tell you guys something. So Benjamin is our newest creator. We are so proud to have him on FoodTok TV. He goes live every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, Chopping It with Father. And he is phenomenal. I found him searching on my own. I sent him over to Taylor. Taylor's like, oh my goodness gracious, I love him. And things just happened from there. I'm so proud of him. But let me tell you something. He is representing FoodTok TV right now as a creator. And I can tell you what, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen, anybody put out in an hour. Y'all need to tap that screen. If you are not following FoodTok TV, I would highly recommend you do that. You can go in, you can read the bios of all of our cooks. You can see the schedule of all of our cooks, and everybody's welcome. If you're interested in trying out for FoodTok TV, there's also directions on how to do that. Or you may be found, and we may say, hey, let's check out this person. And that's exactly what happened with Benjamin here. Phenomenal cook, a wonderful person, and one of my best friends ever. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Benjamin, for letting me mod for you.
No, thank you. I appreciate your help. So I will say this. I have put into the chat a few times. It says, what up, homies? That's kind of like my signature thing I always say. So please click on that and follow me if you're not already following me. This end this show. Here is your goat cheese braised beef risotto balls, arancini balls with the natural jus that's been reduced. Your anti-martini glass dirty martini. Here is your shrimp cake stuffed salmon with a cauliflower mash and a parsley sauce.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
In 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen.
So I appreciate everyone here. I appreciate you watching the show. Melissa, I appreciate you helping me out with this. I thank you all for being here, and I hope you have a great day. So I'm going to end like I always end. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's that time. Have an amazing day, and take care. Bye.
Bye.